I was recording another video, and in between that video, I received a parcel, and I was anxiously waiting for this. These are filters for my DJI Mini 4 Pro. These are not just fixed ND filters. These are variable ND filters. And as you know, maybe you have seen previously that I'm a huge fan of Freewell. And on my Mavic 2 Pro, I use Freewell variable ND filters, and those were marvelous. And on my camera, I'm still using magnetic VND filter system. I have made a video about it. You can watch, or I will link it somewhere here. So what we are going to do, we will put these filters in front of our DJI Mini 4 Pro, and then we will record in 24p and 24 frame per second. Look at these. These are so tiny. My God. Oh my God. These are so tiny. Focus. It's just so small. This is my finger. It's just so small. One thing I really like about this small case, it's very tiny, you see. They give you an empty slot where you can put your existing lens cover, and just so you don't lose it. It's very good. It's very thoughtful. You also get this small microfiber cloth to clean your filter if you just, while installing it on your drone, by mistake, if you touch your finger in front of this, so you can clean it on the go. I'm going to put these filters on DJI Mini 4 Pro. It's right here, and I take off the front cover. It's very easy to do. You can tilt it anti-clockwise, and you can take it off. It's so easy. One thing I forgot to tell you, these are variable ND filters, and it goes from 2 to 5 stop. One filter is for 2 to 5 stop, and the other one is 6 to 9 stop. Pretty much very good for sunlight. I mean, bright day sunlight, which we usually see in our region. 1 to 5 stop, sorry, not 2 to 5, 1 to stop or 5 stop. And just to put it in front of, oh, it's so simple. You see, here it is. And one thing is, different in this one, they haven't mentioned the numbers. They just gave us some sort of lines. We can only know by looking at the sensor. If the sensor is visible, obviously it is the lower VND, and if we can see, it means we are on the higher value. The size of the filter is so small, and it's so light that you don't have any problem to balance your gimbal. You see, it's in the front, and while your drone is on, you can easily rotate the front element of this variable ND filter just to get the right exposure. Before this, when I used the same ND filter system, obviously that was the bigger one because I was using on Mavic 2 Pro, and on that gimbal, when I used to rotate this front element of that variable ND filter, that gimbal used to turn off, and it gets free. Maybe there was a reason behind it. The engineering was different, but right now, if I touch this gimbal and if I try to like push it, it doesn't turn off. It stays there. It goes back to its original position, which is really very good, because previously it was a very big hassle that for changing just one value of your VND system, you had to turn off your drone first, then you rotate the variable ND filter to get the right exposure, then you turn on it, and then you see it on your screen. Or maybe if it's not right, then you have to turn it off and then turn it on. But with this thing, it's really very good. You can do it on the go. You don't have to turn off your drone. That's very nice, and it looks very good in front of your drone with this red circle. I really like it. Whenever we are shooting in brighter sunlight with 24 FPS, your shutter is quite open, like 24 times in a second, which means so much light is getting into your sensor. And when your aperture is fixed, like in this case, aperture is fixed f2.8, you cannot, control your aperture. So 24 FPS in brighter sunny day, it's like so much overexposed footage, you cannot like fix it in the post. So what you do, you just increase your shutter speed, which gives you not a very generic motion blur. So to control the proper rule of your shutter speed, which is like if you are shooting at 24 fps, you need to have your shutter at 1/48th of a second. If it's not there, you can make it 1/50th of a second. So to achieve that proper motion blur, you have to have these settings. And to achieve these settings, you need to have something in front of the lens. And these are called the sunglasses of your camera or your lens. So you are cutting the amount of light which is getting into the sensor by increasing or decreasing the values. If it's very sunny, you are, flying towards sun, you can like increase it. Sometimes you need more than 5 stop, sometime maybe 8 stop. And it's not always the matter of cutting the light. It's matter of your way of doing photography or videography. If you need some slow shutter, you need more motion blur in your pictures or maybe in your video. Maybe it's a demand of your scene. So you need these ND filters for that as well. So this is the purpose of these variable ND filters. I flew this drone in Bali, and it was very bright. So I used to compromise on my shutter speed, and that thing doesn't look very good to the eye of your audience because it gets choppy. It keeps changing the shutter speed. Sometimes it's fluid, sometimes it's like very choppy, like your iPhone footage when you shoot on auto mode. Let's take it out, fly it, and in between flying, we will see how much VND value we need for a bright sunny day, and then later on we will bring that footage in computer, and we will see how much color shift this VND gives us, and we will compare it with VND and without VND, just to see that how much shift we are getting and how easy it is to fix in the post. So let's go to some place and fly our drone. It's a bright day. It's sometimes sunny or it's sometimes very overcast. So when I was using that 1 to 5 stop, it wasn't like giving me a right exposure. I used this 6 stop ND. Now it seems a bit perfect to me. I will fly to this direction and then I will fly without ND filter, and I'll let the camera manage by decreasing or increasing this shutter speed or each and everything on auto mode. Let's fly towards this building. Exposure seems perfect to me. There are so many eagles there. These are very dangerous. Everything seems very nicely exposed. Now we'll bring back the drone. The aircraft is without any ND filter. We cannot see anything because everything is set to manual, 24 FPS, 1/50th of second and ISO. Now I will shift it to auto mode. Everything is compensated by aircraft itself. So now we will fly to the same direction, so we can very well see the difference between both the footages, one from the auto setting and one from the 5 to 9 stop variable ND filter system. I'm flying to the same spot, and after that I'm going to put the 1 to 5 stop ND filter, and I will increase the shutter speed to compensate the exposure, and we will see the difference between all of these three footages, that how much color shift we get from these ND filters. We are almost at the same point. Yes. Now I will bring back the drone. I will put the ND filter 1 to 5 stop. So this is now at 5 stop ND filter. It's a bit overexposed. So I'm going to change a little bit setting. I'll take my video setting to 4K and maybe 60 frame per second, so we can compensate a little bit. So now the footage is we are recording is 4K 60 frame per second. I'm not recording in D-Log-M because it's not allowing me to do that. So now we will fly towards the same place and we will see how much color shift we get. With the screen on my remote, I just cannot differentiate, if we are getting any color shift or not. But when we will put everything in computer in post and we will color grade, then we will see how much color shift we are getting in all these three footages. We are at the same point. Now we have recorded all these three footages. I'll bring back the drone. We will take every footage in the computer and we will talk there. All right. See you in front of the computer. So all three footages are in post. I have set them side by side so you can differentiate or you can see very well what's the difference between with and without filter and in between both filters. So let's jump into the computer and see the result. The left footage is from 5 stop VND, then 6 stop, and then without any filter. You can clearly see all these three footages matches. I can say 99% they are matching each other. In 6 stop VND, I see some color change in the building color, and that could be the reason of wrong exposure because this footage was very bright. You can see clearly the sky was very overcast, and in both other footages the sky is very clear. On 5-stop VND, we can see more sky and then some clouds, and in the middle one there are all clouds, and the third one still have some clouds. So that could be the reason of this color shift. I try to match everything in exposure. Looks like we don't have to do much after using these variable ND filters. We don't have to deal with any of the color thing, which usually we have to take care in post. And one thing I like to mention here, the white balance is 5000 Kelvin in all 3 shots. So you have seen the result. I told you what I have done with these footages. I think result is marvelous. I mean, it's very rare that you don't get any color shift in these ND filters, especially in variable ND filters. You get definitely a little bit color shift, but to my eyes, these both ND filters, I mean, seem same. And the only difference is in the exposure. I mean, sometimes when it's darker, then color seems a little bit different. The hue gets different when exposure is like bit darker or bit brighter. So to my eyes, everything looked very good. I'm really very happy. This is my third experience from Freewell. First, I purchased Freewell for my Mavic 2 Pro, and those filters stayed all the time on the top of my Mavic 2 Pro camera. And later on, I purchased a magnetic VND filter for my this A7 IV and FX3, and I'm using it right now as well with 2-stop ND. And this is the third time I'm buying Freewell, and this one also not failed me. I'm really happy with this purchase, and I'm glad that I opted for Freewell. I can recommend these filters to anyone who is in the market to buy any sort of ND filter or variable ND filter for their Mini 4 Pros. These are very lightweight. These are not very expensive, quite cheap. I have searched other brands too. Some were very expensive, some were more cheaper, but this was a brand which had my trust, so I opted for it. So how do you like this video? Do you think my comparison is right or wrong? If you think it's good, give me a thumbs up. If you think I have missed something, write in a comment. I'll see what I can do. So this is it for today. See you in the next one. Till then, peace.